think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
I respect everything everyone is saying to me, and I don't want to fake apologize. I'm very upset about that people are misunderstood what I was saying. Not good for anyone, and it's not good for poor folks. It is not good for y'all because you become slave fodder. It's not a good thing. It's not good for women because you are now being told and dictated to, and you can't say anything because they, throw you in a jail or whatever.
The camera begins to roll, casting a heavy silence over the room. There stands Whoopi Goldberg, her eyes blinking rapidly, lips trembling, clutching the table like it's the only thing keeping her grounded. Why? Because the roles have shifted. This isn't the sharp-tongued Whoopi we know from The View, confidently tossing out strong opinions like they're gospel. No, today she's not in the studio. She's in a courtroom. And the reason? Karoline Leavitt, a young, fearless conservative voice who's unapologetically made waves by doing the unthinkable. Karoline dragged Whoopi into the courtroom and held her accountable for every controversial word she's ever uttered. And yes, the receipts were all there. What seemed like just another fiery clash on daytime television quickly exploded into a full-scale legal storm. Now, the tears are flowing, the masks are slipping, and Whoopi, she's beginning to unravel under the pressure. But before we dive headfirst into this dramatic breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and smash subscribe, because this courtroom showdown is the kind of juicy drama that keeps the rumor mill burning hot. Just hit subscribe? You're a legend. Now let's break this down. It all began like any typical episode of The View. A panel of co-hosts, a controversial guest, and a political jab masked as casual conversation. But this time, Karoline Leavitt was the one in the hot seat. Joy landed the first blow, casually mocking Karoline's rise in politics, as if it were just a result of her appearance. Then, Whoopi jumped right into the mix.
If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Whoopi scoffed, brushing aside Karoline's success as insignificant. Then, Sunny chimed in, dismissing it as just another example of white privilege. They laughed, the audience applauded. But Karoline? She didn't flinch. She stood there, absorbing every word in silence. And days later, she struck back. Not with a Twitter rant, not with a headline-grabbing interview, but with something far more powerful. A legal bombshell that sent shockwaves through ABC. Most people in her situation would have fired back online, but Karoline took a different route. She thought strategically. She combed through every clip, every comment, every condescending remark, and built a case so solid it couldn't be ignored. Then, with her legal team behind her, she launched a defamation lawsuit so huge it took over the headlines. $800 million. Let that sink in. The lawsuit didn't just target Whoopi Goldberg. It also went after Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and the entire network. The accusations? Character assassination, intentional slander, and a coordinated media effort designed to silence conservative voices. But here's the real twist. Karoline wasn't seeking revenge. She was demanding accountability. Her legal team made that abundantly clear in a heartfelt statement. This isn't about politics. It's about principle. No woman should be publicly dismantled simply for having the courage to speak with an independent voice.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right. ABC should wake up.
Boom. Just like that. It wasn't just a lawsuit anymore. It turned into full-blown war. Fast forward to this week. The courtroom is packed. Whoopi Goldberg walks in, oversized sunglasses concealing her eyes, her face a mask of unreadable calm. But by the time Karoline's legal team wraps up presenting their case, the cracks begin to show. Witnesses reported that Whoopi visibly trembled as explosive footage played. Clips of her mocking Karoline's intelligence, her appearance, even her accent. Then came the bombshell. Documents, emails, call logs, and internal producer messages that revealed they knew exactly what they were doing. Deliberately pushing Karoline's buttons and keeping the cameras rolling for maximum humiliation. The pressure finally started to show. Whoopi was seen leaning in close to her attorney, whispering something before covering her face with her hands. During a short break, she was spotted wiping away tears. The transformation was dramatic. Once a seemingly untouchable TV legend, she now appeared shaken, a defendant caught in the whirlwind of a controversy she helped create. And Karoline? She didn't smirk, didn't celebrate. She sat still, composed, and quiet. But in that quiet, her message was unmistakably powerful.
Bang, Rowan, I couldn't do that at 27. No nonsense, straight to the point, courage, detail.
Looking for receipts? Karoline didn't show up with just a few. She brought the full record. Her legal team dropped a flood of evidence, months of broadcast footage, word-for-word transcripts, and internal production notes, all pointing to a calculated, intentional smear campaign. Then came the showstopper, a leaked document allegedly instructing producers to play off Karoline's age, push her into a defensive stance from the start, and steer the segment into hostile territory. The courtroom fell into stunned silence. Legal analysts were speechless. This wasn't petty TV drama. It looked like a meticulously planned ambush. When confronted about the documents, Whoopi tried to dodge responsibility, claiming she wasn't aware of every decision made behind the scenes. But Karoline's lawyer didn't flinch. "Ignorance isn't a defense when you're speaking to millions," he fired back. The statement cut through the courtroom like a razor. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Whoopi's face reportedly went pale. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, ABC was in meltdown mode. Executives were scrambling, and the PR department, dead silent. Once a media powerhouse, Whoopi had suddenly become untouchable, in all the wrong ways. It appears that ABC isn't merely contemplating parting ways with Whoopi. They could be getting ready to sever all connections. Once seen as untouchable, Whoopi is now a liability, and the network's silence about what's to come next is deafening. Sources close to the situation claim that ABC isn't just devising an exit plan for Whoopi. They might be preparing for the potential end of The View itself. If Karoline emerges victorious in this case, the ramifications won't just shake one talk show. They could send shockwaves throughout the entire industry.
They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him, they have shamed him, they have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right, ABC should wake up. They just paid $15 million to President Trump's future library. That's a great thing for the American people.
As Whoopi buckles under the pressure of the courtroom drama, Karoline Leavitt stands resolute. Her calm, evidence-backed approach has earned admiration not just from her supporters, but from unexpected allies as well. The buzz on social media is palpable, with hashtags like Justice for Karoline and media accountability leading the charge. Even some of her former critics are now acknowledging the significance of the moment, praising her for holding her ground against a media giant that many believe has long operated without accountability. Karoline isn't playing the victim. She's here to change the game.
Whoopi Goldberg, who raised a few eyebrows using the Bible to support the idea of kids getting gender change surgeries. Take a look.
This is a party that says we believe in parents' rights. You're telling me that as a parent, I'm not smart enough to decide if my child and I need to have gender affirming. Our doctors are not involved. What is going? So I can't decide what my kid reads. I can't decide for my child what my child says is going on. You're telling me your beliefs, your And they keep saying it, and I keep saying, what Bible are you reading?
Yeah.
Because God was really clear.
Very clear.
So, what's on the horizon? If the court rules in Karoline's favor, the repercussions could be earth-shattering. Whoopi might be forced to issue a public apology, face a multi-million-dollar payout, and perhaps the most crushing blow of all, be forced to leave The View for good. The future of the show itself is hanging by a thread. But beyond the courtroom spectacle, there's a much bigger picture at play. A clear line has been drawn, and Karoline has delivered a powerful message. Media influence doesn't mean immunity. No matter how influential the voice, accountability is inevitable. If this case sets a precedent, the era of unchecked on-air attacks may be coming to a close.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
Now, it's your chance to share your opinion. Did Whoopi Goldberg go too far? Was Karoline Leavitt justified in seeking accountability? Should The View be held liable for what its hosts say? I'm eager to hear your thoughts, so drop them in the comments below. And before you head out, don't forget to like the video to support bold reporting and subscribe for more exclusive updates. If Whoopi is already showing signs of cracking in court, trust me, this is just the beginning.